Final Kind of Funny Games Daily of 2022. Of course, I'm Tim Geddes, and I'm joined by the new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
What's up, Tim? I love this sweatshirt. I know I've seen it probably like 10 times by now, but every single time I see it, I'm like, dude, that's fresh.
It's the Kanto badges, and I've been wearing it a lot.
Yeah.
But I had to wear it today to celebrate story number 1
of
this episode of Kind of Funny
Games
Daily.
Daily. Tim,
we'll get to it in a bit.
I had to wear my shadow chain today because I had to celebrate. Sonic Prime came out last night, Tim. And when I tell you that I watched the first episode, and it is genuinely fantastic.
Dude, that's what I've been hearing. Everyone's been
really
telling me that this one's actually good, somewhere in between the original 90s cartoon and the later 90s cartoon. And when I say original and later, I think the difference was like 1992 and 1994. But still, there was a vast difference between those. And I'm like, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, I've not been watching the trailers. I've not been, except for the trailers that we've seen during live streams and Sonic Directs and all those things, right? I've not really cared about Sonic Prime just as an idea, just because I'm like, I don't know, man. I didn't really expect it to be great. I know people like the Sonic Boom cartoon, but I didn't even watch the Sonic Boom cartoon, at least that many episodes of it, so I wasn't really paying that much mind to it. But I saw the reviews go up, and I was like, you know what, man? Let me watch the first episode. I had time last night. Let me put it up. And one, I wasn't expecting it to be like a 45-minute long episode. I was thinking that it was going to be the standard 20-minute, cartoon thing. And so like I got halfway through, and I was like, oh, this is still going, but also I don't want this to stop. Yeah, like I did not know what the premise of it is. I'm not even going to say the premise if somehow y'all have missed the premise of it. But once it gets further into the episode, there are some moments that happen where I'm like, oh shit, this is really cool. This is a really good take on Sonic the Hedgehog. And so if you're a Sonic fan or if you just like cartoons, highly recommend. Go check out Sonic Prime on Netflix. We're not sponsored.
Hell yeah, though. I'm happy for you. I'm probably going to skip out on this one, but...
Dude, I recommend just watch the first episode.
Damn, just the first
episode.
You got me.
if you watch the first episode and you're like, then, don't watch the rest. I just want to hear what you think about the first episode.
Cool. I will do that for you. Absolutely. Kev, I do want to say a quick note. We didn't hear the intro. So I don't know if there's something we need to do so that we can hear.
I also didn't hear it. I'm working on that right now.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. While you do that, let me tell you, everybody, that this is Kind of Funny Games Daily, where each and every weekday we come at you live right on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames and youtube.com/kindoffunnygames with all of the video game news that you need to know. All right. If you wanted to get the show ad free, though, you got to go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, just like our Patreon producers. Where y'all at? There you are. Delaney Twining, One Up Pest Control Gwinnett, Brian Cheney, Alex Gradle, Jason L., the nanobiologist, Derek Garrick, Donald Eccles, and Jason L. Thank you all so very, very much. Today we're brought to you by the Fixture S2, MeUndies, Policy Genius, and Shopify. And also a little housekeeping for you. Want to let you know that it is the 12 days of Pabst, and PBR is giving away free stuff on their Instagram account all this week. Today is the final day, and at 1 p.m. today, so after Games Daily, later on in the middle of this day, 1 p.m. Pacific, Blessing Adeoye Jr. and Pabst Blue Ribbon are teaming up, going live together on Instagram. You can check that out on Instagram.com/kindoffunnyvids. It'll be on the Kind of Funny account. You can win a whole bunch of cool stuff, including a custom arcade cabinet, the PB Arcade. Yeah, there you go. A vintage jukebox hack to dispense PBR cans, free PBR for a year, and more PBR stuff. It's all Pabst Blue Ribbon on Instagram, going live with Kind of Funny Vids this Friday, today, 1 p.m. Pacific with Bless. You excited?
I'm excited.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for you, Bless. But I'm excited to get to the news because it's time to begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
Thank you very much. And real quick, just let everyone know, this is the final Kind of Funny Games Daily of 2022. We will return on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. 2023.
That's a wild year to exist.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not.
How are we there? How are we here?
Whatsoever. Kev, how are we looking on audio? Are we good to go?
Let me see.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm hearing it. A little early.
Also, this is the first I'm hearing that we're not returning on Monday. I thought we were coming back on Monday the 2nd. You're telling me Tuesday the 3rd?
We're coming back on Monday, but like we're not live. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're going to get back into the swing of things. There's no games daily. Is what I'm
I see. I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, story number 1, everybody. Your boy's excited. The Pokemon anime is saying
goodbye.
Hell of a shot. The Pokemon anime is saying goodbye to Ash and Pikachu.
They died?
The ass of Pikachu.
God, there's an energy already, everybody. I want to watch this trailer that the Pokemon account put out because just to set the stage for everybody, if you didn't know, somehow, if you were living under a rock and haven't heard me speak any words in the last month, Ash Ketchum has become the world champion. The very best, like no one ever was. Just a couple weeks
They
ago.
said it was impossible.
And it was kind of wrapping up the Gen 8 of the Pokemon anime. And there was a couple episodes after that win. And a lot of people were like, where's it going to go from here? When there's the Gen 9 anime, which was like unofficially announced. Like it wasn't like there wasn't like a statement on this is what it's going to be. It's Ash and these companions. Everyone's like, what is going on? I've been watching the show week to week for the last for a while now. And the last couple episodes, definitely not nearly as banger as him winning. But they were doing some cool stuff where his companion Go was going out and like trying to catch Mew. There was like a lot of legendary raids going on. Gary Oak was hanging out with them.
Shit, my
like,
guy Gary.
There was some cool stuff. But
is he still an asshole?
No, he's lightened up. He's
Oh.
He's kind of like more of he's the friendly rival type now.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but he's out there doing research and shit. Like they did a cool thing with his character. But there was still a lot of questions of what's actually going down. So this morning, actually, in Japan, I guess their afternoon, but morning for us. From my understanding, the final episode of this season aired. So I still haven't seen that, so I don't really know all the details of it all. But coinciding with that, the Pokemon Twitter announced what is actually happening with the future of the Pokemon anime, and I'm very excited. So let's check this out.
次回ポケットモンスター遥かなる青い空を放
Subtitles
送
are being blocked, Tim. You
サ
gotta
ト
read
シと
it.
ピカチュウ
Next week's episode in
いつも
Japan
の
will feature
特別な
Pikachu having a
一日
special
を
day.
描くスペシャルエピソード
And now for a major
Fuck us too.
announcement. The future of Pokemon. I have to like guess what they're saying. An important announcement.
So we got going through the history of
Ash and
every
Pikachu have had many
season.
encounters and have made many exciting
たくさん
memories.
のワクワクと感動のサトシとピカチュウの物語
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm sorry.
チャンピオンになった今、君はどこまでポ
This
ケ
is
モンを
fucking
マスター
boy,
した
carry out, baby.
のかな
They're going there, bless.
Oh my god.
全ての冒
So we got
険は
Misty, we got
見
Brock.
果ての夢
Every adventure is another
Pokemon
step
Master
to the
にな
long
る
path
た
to
め
becoming Pokemon Master, a
サトシ
dream
と
that
ピカ
never
チュウの物語
ends.
最終
The
章
final chapter in
ポ
Ash
ケッ
and
トモンスタ
Pikachu's
ー
story.
目指せポケモンマスター 2023
The final chapter in their story, 11 episodes. Oh, 11 episodes, holy cow. To air starting Friday, January 13th in Japan. Now we got a special announcement.
I turned your camera off so we could see it.
It looks like they're showing off the next season, which is the next Paldea region season. And we got some new characters.
New characters, a new protagonist for the
New
first time
protagonist.
in Pokemon history.
Holy
now,
cow.
let's get into this. So what's happening here, Bless, is there's 3 separate projects going on. Next week, we are getting what seems to be in the alternate timeline. If I'm understanding this correctly, you're wrong me because it is a little confusing. A couple years back, they started releasing a line of movies that were like alternate universe Ash and Pikachu. It was kind of like a reboot where it's like going back to the beginning, but things are a little bit different. And there's been 2 movies so far. This seems to be like the 3rd movie to kind of like close that all up. Kev, if you could pull up the images that I sent you over, that'd be cool. Image number 1 is the poster for this. And I'm really, really excited about this. This is a weird one that I don't think the quality's 100% there. This is, I don't know if you remember the first movie of this series.
Why does this look like, wasn't there an anime called Your Name?
Yes.
A movie called Your Name.
This
This looks like that.
So the art style of this is a lot higher production value. They're movies, right? So
yeah.
it's like it's bigger specials, and the art style I think looks a lot nicer. And it's kind of just like a reimagining, like quickened version of the anime, like all packed into one. But a couple years ago, they put out the first one, and that was the one where Pikachu spoke and said, "I love you."
Oh yeah, I
And
remember that
everyone was
clip.
like, what the fuck is this? You know? So with this seems to be kind of like ending up that alternate continuity storyline going on. So that's
Is
kind of
Pikachu
cool.
gonna be voiced this whole movie?
No, that was just a one
Okay.
moment of like power friendship type stuff, right? But anyways, that's this. And then the next project is the one that I personally am most excited about, and it starts in January. So this is the original key art of
my
the first
God.
series. The first series.
Oh, the
right?
first series. Okay, I
First
thought-
series that we all grew up with.
Yeah,
And
this
this-
brings back memories.
This
dude.
is the key art of the 11 episode series coming out in January.
Oh shit!
They're fucking doing the damn thing.
Wow.
Bringing back all the OGs. You can see Butterfree there with the scarf on.
Oh my
Mr. Mime
God.
that's out there hanging out with Delia Ketchum. Who knows what they're doing?
No, you don't want to know.
what
You
I'm
don't want
talking
to
about?
know.
You don't want to know. But yeah, all the OGs are like, you can see the entire Kanto squad, Johto squad, like going up on the left there. And then some of his more modern teams here. We got Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy.
Shout out Officer Jenny.
Up there, yeah, for show. But this is like really cool, really exciting. It's going to be an 11 episode finale to the story of Ash and Pikachu. And
that's amazing.
Holy shit. Like, what is that? What's that going to be? Because so it's called Aim to Be a Pokemon Master is the name of this series. That's a Japanese translation, so it's a little wonky there. But I think they're going to do it, bless. I think they're going to do some crazy shit where he catches them all.
No
I think he's going to
way.
catch Ho-Oh, bro. I think they're really going to like bring it back and do anything that would be hype for people like us.
That's incredible. I'm very excited about this. I am like seeing this announcement this morning filled me with joy and emotion just Nurse Joy, just for the fact that, you know, this brings me back to our childhood, right? And I'm sure this brings everybody back to their childhood because everybody watched the Pokemon anime growing up. But like seeing the fact that this journey is coming to an end, even though I've not been paying attention to most of the journey at this point, right? Like I dropped off at Gen 3.
Yeah.
And like I haven't tuned back in until you started talking about it, right? And like I've been aware that it's happening, but not paying attention to it. But even just seeing, it's almost like seeing a friend that you like were friends with in elementary school, and then like they show up, and all of a sudden like they're achieving their dreams of becoming a Pokemon master. That's exactly what this feels like. And so congratulations to Ash. Hope you get to catch them all.
So here's the thing, Bless. We're not done. There's one extra thing here that gets me really excited. And this is Tim Geddes in his full-on get hype, get theory mode. Will this happen? Probably not. But what if it did type shit? Can you bring up image number 4, Kevin? So this is going to start in April, the Gen 9 anime. It'll be in Paldea. It'll be the Scarlet and Violet story. You can see the 3 starters here. We have the 2 new protagonists, right? And this will be the first time we don't have Ash going on the journey. But if you look at this character, this main character in the front, what's in her hair? Kevin, can we enhance?
Oh, shit.
Would that be possible to enhance? Because what's in the hair is a little hair clip.
But it looks like
that is
Ash's
the logo of the Indigo League Championship.
That's what it is.
That Ash had on his original hat.
Oh.
So the rumors going on right now
You think that's his cousin?
that one of them on the right, the kid on the right, is from Paldea, and that she is a girl from Pallet Town. So the theory goes, bless. What if this takes place in the future? This is Ash's daughter. The 11 episode series is Ash finishing his shit. They age him up. We get adult Ash. He is now just the.
What if he's like a professor?
That's what I'm saying. What if he's just the Pokemon champion of the world? They go on, they do this stuff, and then forever we just get Ash for cameo hype moments.
That's wild. That's wild. Y'all saying some wild stuff today.
We'll see.
That's crazy, dude. That would be hype.
Yeah, it's doubtful, but
I mean, that is the Indigo League thing.
It is, dude, which they haven't used. Like he's had a million different hats since then. Like,
but it looks different, right? Like, isn't it like that little ball part on the top? This part?
No, that's the hat, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up because
what I want to know is what's on her necklace. Because I don't recognize what that could be, but it might just be the anime version of the Terrestrialize thingy or whatever.
That's what that looks like. And yeah, like the ball at the top of the logo is like in the hat. It's like a curve, but I think that's just the animation, right? Like I think it is probably the same thing.
Yeah. So there we go, man. January. Not gonna have to wait long to start getting some answers on this one. So get hyped. Obviously, I will be 100% covering all this stuff here at Kinda Funny in the new year. Kozibear wrote and said, after 2 decades, the Pokemon anime is finally sunsetting Ash. What questions do you want answered or moments do you want to happen during Ash's upcoming final few episodes on the show? Do you have any thoughts?
I mean, I want him to reunite with his OG team from season 1. I would love to, I mean, it looks like we're going to get a lot of that, right? It looks like Butterfree might return. It looks like I'm trying to remember all the Pokemon that Ash said goodbye to, I guess. Like I want to see I want to see the Squirrel Squad. I want to see the Squirrel Squad come back just for a second. Like, give me a cool Squirrel Squad cameo.
We have gotten a little bit of that already, right?
Yeah, I mean, even on the poster there, you see Squirtle holding his glasses.
Let's freaking go, dude. And yeah, I want all that stuff. Maybe I want cameos from gym leaders. I'll love to see Sabrina come back, and like I want a moment where all of them are like, "Oh shit, it's Sabrina!
It's fucking Sabrina."
Oh, shit, get her out of here.
Like that's the thing is like throughout time, Ash has gotten so many badges, and like over the series, they've gotten a little bit more, way more legit wins. But when you think back to the Kanto gym leaders, like I swear to God, he didn't legit win like half of those badges. Like it was always just really weird shit. And they're like, I guess I'm giving this to you because Sabrina almost psychicked you to death.
Yeah, I would love to see a. Oh, this might be too much, like, because this would take time to do. But I would like to see a rematch between Charizard and Magmar.
Oh my God!
Because that was such a hype episode.
The seismic toss.
Yeah, the seismic
around
toss
the
where he's
world.
going around the moon and then brings him back down. I think that would be cool, even if it is just like a. Oh yeah, look, it's Magmar. Oh, Charizard, you remember Magmar? Even if it's just that, I think that would be dope as fuck.
Yeah, for me, there's something in my eye, but the thing
cry.
I want,
you can let
I
it
know that there's gonna be a lot of crying for me, everybody. I just want you to know that, like, this shit it's gonna be crazy. But they got to do something with Ho-Oh. We ended the first episode of the entire. Can you imagine, Bless, that they had the balls to be like, hey, Pokemon, this is a brand new idea. This is the first time these kids are introduced to it. There's 150 of them. And then the very first episode of the show, there's like, but here's this other one.
Yeah, here's
It's
Pokemon.
just not in the game. Like it's not one of the 150. And then they just kind of don't talk about it. You just see Ash look at it fly away. I hope that they do something with that.
I don't remember what happened in Pokemon 2000. Was Ho-Oh not in that one? Did that never come back around?
The Ho-Oh's been back around a whole bunch of different times, but like I want them to do something with him and Ash. Like he's kind of been there. Like Ash has seen him a couple times, and it usually symbolizes him moving to a new, new section of his journey.
Yeah,
like leaving companions behind to get like Brock and Misty, like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope that they actually like really have a good moment with it. But legit, I hope that they just OP him to hell. Like, he already is the world champion. Let's just fucking own it. Let's do some crazy shit, age skip him, and, like, just tell us everything we want to hear. That make Ash red. You know what I mean? The way that we think about red in the games, make fucking Ash Ketchum that. He goddamn deserves it.
He does. Shout out Ash Ketchum.
Story number 2. Hideo Kojima shares Death Stranding 2 poster celebrating Kojima Productions' 7th anniversary. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale at IGN. Metal Gear Solid creator Hideo Kojima has shared a new poster for Death Stranding 2 and a special thank you message to celebrate Kojima Productions' 7th anniversary. The celebrations kicked off with a tour of Kojima Productions' fancy new offices in Tokyo before Kojima himself appeared to tease a little more about his upcoming projects. The Death Stranding 2 poster was shared later and appears to show some sort of octopus locked in a containment pod. Credits to the game's cast also feature including names like Norman Reedus, Elle Fanning, and Troy Baker. Kojima Productions is celebrating its 7th anniversary, said Kojima in the clip. I'd like to thank everyone for their continued support. Have you had the chance to check out our latest title, Death Stranding 2, which we revealed at the Game Awards? I promise to give you even more amazement and overall gaming experience than the first one. We hope you'll be excited about it. In addition to DS2, we're preparing a completely new game as well as some visual projects. Visual projects. I'm hoping to bring you more information on all of these next year. That's a key, important thing.
Yes,
there,
next year.
Next year. Dropping some dates, dropping some times.
Do you think, I imagine one of these visual projects he's talking about is the Death Stranding movie. That was just announced yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I think that fits into that description. A lot of interesting stuff here. I love the poster. Really cool. You got the pod with the tentacles in it, right? Where you would usually hold the BB. And I think the implication here is that the BB went rogue and turned into an octopus. So yeah, I think that looks really cool. I don't think I've gotten to talk a lot about Death Stranding 2 since it got announced at the Game Awards. Y'all did the Game Awards, but I'm so excited for this. I of course played Death Stranding, the original one, like when it released, but I only played like 18, 20 hours and never beat the game. But then earlier this year, once I got my Steam Deck, I went back to it and replayed the whole thing on Steam Deck and got to the end of it and absolutely fell in love with the game. I love to see the return of Troy Baker to it because I think he gave one of my favorite performances in that game as the villain. Like, he was incredible in that thing. I would love to see my guy, Die Hardman, come back because he also gave one of the best performances I've seen in any video game ever. And so, yeah, like I'm so curious to see where they take it. You know, Kojima mentioning that I promise to give you even more amazement and overall gaming experience than the first one. What does that mean?
I love it.
What are the changes going to be? What are the updates going to be? Is this still going to be a walking, delivering style of game? I would be totally down if it was, right? But I wouldn't put it past Kojima to find even a new genre to enter or a new genre to create. Tim, what if this isn't a Strand game? What if he finds a new genre? I think that could be exciting. But also, yeah, shout out to the fact that he's working on more stuff. You know, we had our predictions, and also we've had announcements and rumors and stuff where in the Xbox showcase back during 93, Kojima came out and talked about his collaboration with Xbox to do this cloud gaming thing. There's also been the logos and teases he's been doing, right, which seems mostly to point to Death Stranding 2. But, you know, we still have the theory of what if he's working on 3 games. We know, again, the Xbox thing, we now know officially Death Stranding 2. There's the Overdose game that's been leaking. Is that the Xbox thing? Who knows, right? Like, there's stuff, there's still enough that's a mystery there that I'm very excited to see what the stuff pans out being.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I think is really interesting here is, to my knowledge, this is the first time I've seen them refer to it as Death Stranding 2. Because we've only been really seeing DS2, and all the imagery and stuff.
Yeah.
But Kojima here said Death Stranding 2. So not that, like, that's a surprise, but knowing Kojima and how he is, like, I'm surprised that there's that inconsistency, I guess.
I think they're gonna change the name. I think it's gonna be Death Stranding : something. But I think they're trying to get DS2 out there to drive. Wait, are you laughing at colon, Kevin?
Yeah, Death Stranding : something.
Colon
as a name.
That could be. I mean, that could be. Who knows? Who knows? It's
Keep
Kojima.
going through it all the time, right? In the trailers.
But I think I guess they do go through the colon in the trailers.
I think, just to be clear, I think that's the trachea. I think they're going down the throat.
Death Stranding trachea, baby. I think they're driving home Death Stranding 2/DS2 to get across the fact that, no, this is a sequel. This is the next game in the franchise. It's not a spinoff. It's not a smaller game. It is Death Stranding 2. But I think at some point we're going to get either Death Stranding : I don't know, the baby's a tentacle this time, or Death Stranding 2 : Elle Fanning, whatever it's called.
I'm rooting for the baby's a tentacle this time.
Cool.
That sounds great. What's the abbreviation of that one? TBA.
TBA. Baby, a tentacle bat. Death Stranding bat.
And then, yeah, the other thing is there was a video of the showing off the Kojima Studios, and like I'm a little upset about this one because they had reached out to Greg to do the VO of it. But yeah, Kev, can you play the video actually?
Wait, did they reach out to Greg to do the video?
Skip forward a little bit.
No, he's joking.
Just a little bit. Like, go into like where we actually see the studio stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Too far, you know?
Yeah.
That's too much.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Bro, they're developing
very,
games in a space station. Like, what the
my
fuck?
God, dude,
very, very impressive.
that's insane.
They're creating
is
games
that
in the
his
future.
Private editing bay, you think?
I hope so. I really, really damn hope that is his private editing bay. There is a separate, this isn't the video I thought it was going to be. There's one that is like legit the hype video of them showing off the whole space in the studio. And like, I was joking. I'm like, imagine if it was Greg being like, it is Kojima Productions, isn't it?
He was just going to put photos, but like after he saw what we did, he was like, oh, I'll make a video. That's the same set. You know?
Exactly. God bless him. Love it so much. Go get it, Kojima.
Here's the thing, right? What Konami did to Kojima, unforgivable. All right? Y'all fucked up. You should have treated my guy better. That said, like, if I'm Konami and Kojima walks up to me and he shows me the pictures, the constant pictures of what he wants his studio to be, I'm like, yo, get out my face, Kojima. No, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
You want an editing bay that's like a whole room that has LED lights and has like a giant theater screen? Go to your office, guy.
I love it, dude. Pandora in the chat says that's the master bedroom. Good lord.
Jesus.
If this is the spare bedroom, that is the master bedroom.
That's
yeah.
hella funny.
Very
wow,
funny.
That was really
good job,
very
Pander.
good.
Good job. Story number 3, everybody. Horizon multiplayer game confirmed by Guerrilla.
Let's go.
This comes from Matt Purslow at IGN. Guerrilla has confirmed that it is working on a multiplayer game set in the Horizon universe and that it will feature a brand new cast of characters and a new art style. In a job advertisement post on Twitter, the Amsterdam-based studio revealed that a new internal team is developing a separate online project set in Horizon's universe. Featuring a new cast of characters and a unique stylized look, fans will be able to explore the majestic wilds of Horizon together. Is that right?
I don't know. That's what the news story says.
Does it say milds?
The majestic milds.
Wilds, right?
And they
It must be.
Wild.
Oh,
It
yeah.
must
It must
have
be
been
wild.
wild. Yeah,
that must be a typo.
Love it. All right. A rumor,
I've never heard of a milds before, but
a rumor suggesting a multiplayer Horizon game surfaced earlier this year, but it's the first time that Guerrilla has confirmed such plans for the Machine Hunting series. The job listings provide a little more context. The narrative director designer for the online project is required to tell a deep, complex story, suggesting this will likely not just be a match-based multiplayer game. The game writer is asked to pitch compelling ideas for quests, factions, and backstories, pointing to something that will be a game with at least similar narrative elements to those seen in the mainline series. Meanwhile, the lead combat designer for the project will be responsible for creating a variety of enemies, machines, and humanoids that focus on exciting combat with cooperative elements. Guerrilla notes in its Twitter post that it's continuing to create epic solo adventures for Aloy, and so it can be assumed that a third mainline Horizon game is also planned.
Let's freaking go. I think this is awesome. It points to how much Sony sees value in Horizon, and not just Sony, right? Guerrilla as well, because I'm sure Guerrilla are the ones that are probably spearheading this. But we're seeing a lot of Horizon, right? Like right now, we're in the middle of, we just got Horizon Forbidden West. We're about to get Horizon Call of the Mountain, the VR game. We know that there's a Horizon TV show in the works, and you're telling me that alongside another single-player Horizon, right, an epic solo adventure, as they put it in their job posting, we're also getting an online project. And then they also point to an external project, right? Like there was a news story, I want to say about a month ago. Yeah, November 8th. This comes from Kotaku, right? It was a report that there might be a Horizon MMO in the works. And this is the one that was talking about NCSoft, right? As first reported by MTN, a South Korean financial news site, sources close to NCSoft and Sony explained that the two companies had entered into an agreement to create a new online game at NCSoft's based on Sony's IP Horizon. As translated by Google, the report claims that the game has started early development and that Sony and NCSoft are continuing to discuss their partnership and how to create the game, suggesting Sony could help out with development. The MTN report says the still in development MMO sports the codename Project H, and that NCSoft is currently using that name in job ads as it begins to staff up to support the large project. NCSoft previously published the MMO Guild Wars and has developed its own online games as part of the Lineage series. So I take that to mean that I think there are probably three projects in the works, right? New single player Horizon, this Horizon multiplayer game that's being worked on internally at Guerrilla, and then also a Horizon MMO, which that's a lot, and also, could mean that Horizon is going to make more and more money, right? They are trying to expand this franchise into something even bigger than it is, and I'm so curious to see if they're able to be successful in doing that.
Yeah, 100%. Kev, your Slack noises are popping off, just letting you know.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Fuck yeah, they are popping off, Slack, baby.
Friday, baby.
Can't stop it. Roger wants to be funny, you know what I mean?
Here's a couple of things that stick out to me as well, right? They're talking about the Guerrilla multiplayer game that they're working on. It's set in the Horizon universe. It'll feature a brand new cast of characters, which is cool. That's what I want. I wonder if that means that it is. If you'd come to me and ask me, hey, Guerrilla's making a Horizon multiplayer game, what is it going to be? I would say, I imagine it'll probably be like Monster Hunter. Maybe you'll make your own character, and you're hanging out with in factions or whatever. You're taking missions. You're going out and you're hunting big machines. Not that this declines that from happening, or declines that from being from being that game. But I wonder if you are going to be playing like a mainline story that is a defined character. I wonder if they're trying to make more Aloys of the world and more actually like main identifiable Horizon characters.
You got to imagine that's the goal, right? We're in a really interesting time right now where the industry is shifting. We've talked about it so many times now into IP being so much more than just video games. And we've talked about how Nintendo has amassed this amazing cast of characters that they have that we see in Super Smash Brothers, right? That we could have even back in 1998, Super Smash Brothers 1, have a group of characters from a bunch of different games. And that meant so much to so many people because that's what video games were up until that point. There weren't many other games out there, right? Then we kind of see Nintendo continue to double down on that, have spinoff after spinoff after spinoff, to the point that spinoffs now, a lot of them are their own core franchises, and they are just as loved and meaningful and core as the things that they spun off from to begin with. We've seen PlayStation get to this point where they now have a cast of characters, coming out with PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale and seeing how much of a joke that was. But imagining what Battle Royale would look like now, it is so night and day where they've got the stuff now. They've got the stuff in droves. They can make it happen. Xbox still working on it. But when it comes to PlayStation, I think that they're in such a unique place that Nintendo's not even at because of their technical mastery at this point of the characters and games and what they can even look like. And the broad appeal of that on a more adult mainstream way, where We got the Mario movie coming out next year. Nintendo's about to hit a whole new high that they've never even seen before. Yeah. Super Nintendo World dropping. This type of cross-marketing is going to be insane for Nintendo. PlayStation, we've already been seeing in the last week. We've talked about Last of Us coming out, God of War being worked on with Cory Barlog involved, all that. It's like, that's all great. Here, we now have Sony's kind of core franchises, and we're seeing them already be like, how can we Nintendoize this in 2023? How do we look at this as like, all right, there was Mario, but then there was also all these Mario sports titles and Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and Mario RPG, and you guys
Mario
get
Party,
it, all of it, right? And they're like, how do we do that for some of our characters and some of our games? And I think that it's not as easy because they're not like plucky mascots that you can just kind of pluck into or drop into different genres like at the flip of a switch, and it just makes sense. And you're like, okay, cool, I can buy that. So finding games and genres that make sense for The Last of Us, for Uncharted, for Horizon, for God of War, I think is an interesting dilemma for Sony to be in. And I think that they are clearly trying to do the right thing with it all. You're talking about NCIE, I think it was.
NCSoft.
NCSoft and all that. It's like they're trying to partner the right groups with games and genres that make sense for the Horizon characters. The one thing here that kind of gives me pause is them saying, featuring a new cast of characters and a unique stylized look.
Yes, that's the next one I wanted to bring up because that also gave me pause because the visuals of Horizon, I think, is one of the best things about it, right? That is a good-looking game, and that is a world that I think is so well-defined visually. What up? What I say?
I just looked
is
over.
It Kevin?
It's just Kevin. I just looked through the control window, and he gives me this look of like, hey, I'm trying to get your attention. Then he just goes.
He gave you what was it? He gave you the balls. He gave you the balls.
Huh?
Was that? Is that your
yeah. You got to give the balls. I can't do it, though.
You got to give the balls.
There we go. No.
Can I tell you? There's no offense to Kevin because Kevin might take offense to what I'm about to say.
I do this a lot.
Yeah, Kev has the balls.
Oh yeah, I guess Kev does that. Kev does have balls.
I can't. I'm not. It hurts. It hurts to hold it that way.
Can I tell you that I came into work with so much good energy, and I was like, I got my coffee, I got my Jack in the Box breakfast. I looked at, finished making the doc for the show, and I was like, oh, we got great news stories to talk about. We got great questions that people wrote in with, and like, I was on 10. I was like, dude, we're about to have the best games daily ever. And then it hit me that Barrett wasn't coming in today. Kevin was running the show, and my heart dropped. I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? What Slack notifications are gonna appear on the episode? What technical hiccup is gonna happen? And I say this with love, Kevin. I say this with love. But turn off your goddamn.
As we're on my one, as you're giving this speech.
Oh, I did that on purpose. I cut his mic too.
We're well aware. We're well aware. But I want to give credit to Kevin's middle finger because those are some quality balls that I can't get going.
Those are some quality balls.
Yeah. Where were we? You know, this is the show that we do here, Kind of Funny Games Daily.
It is.
And to make this show happen, bless, we have sponsors.
We do have
sponsors. Actually
sponsors.
sponsor us to do this. If you don't want to hear those sponsors, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny. But for everyone else, here. Shout out to Fixture Gaming for sponsoring this episode. The Fixture S2 is now available. It's a sturdy accessory mount that connects the Nintendo Switch OLED model to the Pro Controller. This mount was created specifically for the Nintendo Switch OLED model. We here at Kind of Funny have been using the Fixture S1 for a very long time. It's been my go-to to play on the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Both the S1 and S2 let you take your games anywhere while enjoying the Pro Controller's legendary precision and comfort. No longer will you suffer through Joy-Con drift. The thoughtful design of the Fixture S1 and S2 can be seen in the patented 2-axis system with sturdy metal hinges. Both the S1 and S2 can be used in tabletop mode. If you go to fixturegaming.com, use code KINDOFFUNNY, you'll get 5% off of your order. Fixture Gaming is also running a holiday sale on Amazon this week from December 12th to 16th. Get $5 off the Fixture S1 and Fixture S2, $5 off the carrying case bundles, and $10 off the Ultra bundles featuring the Fixture S1, S2, the carrying case, and Fixture's gaming controller. So check it out. Make sure you use promo code KINDOFFUNNY. Shout out to MeUndies for sponsoring this episode. Who doesn't love getting new undies for the holidays? Nobody. That's who. MeUndies is your go-to spot for snuggly, soft undies and more that all your loved ones will adore. Get merry in matching sets perfect for binge watching or holiday your way, however you like, with new limited edition prints. You can try MeUndies and get 20% off your first purchase, plus free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/kindoffunny. You know how much I love MeUndies. MeUndies. I literally don't leave my house unless at least my undies and socks have that super soft micromodal fabric that I talk so much about. You can spend less time gifting and more time living with the new MeUndies holiday collection. MeUndies has something for every name on your list. You can shop classic plaids for dads, holiday sweater prints for fun friends, and the softest loungewear ever. All the cuddly ones in your life could need. Available in sizes extra small to 4XL. It's here for everyone. And you can get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee by going to MeUndies.com/kindafunny. That's MeUndies.com/kindafunny. Shout out to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. We love Shopify here at Kinda Funny because we use it to run our very own kindafunny.com/store. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere. Whether your thing is vintage, teas, or recipes for ghee, start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of your favorite businesses worldwide. Shopify has all the sales channels sorted so your business keeps growing from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform. And thanks to 24/7 support and free libraries full of educational content, Shopify's got you every step of the way. It's how every minute new sellers around the world make their first sale with Shopify, and you will too. When you're ready to launch your thing into the spotlight, do it with Shopify, the commerce platform backing millions of businesses down the street and around the globe. Go on, try Shopify for free and start selling anywhere. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/kfgames, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/kfgames to start selling online today. Shopify.com/kfgames. Shout out to Policy Genius for sponsoring this episode. Life insurance is the type of thing you never hope you need, but the reality is mortgage payments, childcare, and other expenses don't disappear when you're gone. Policy Genius gives you a smarter way to find and buy the right coverage for you and your family. It was built to modernize the life insurance industry. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes and from top companies like AIG and Prudential in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $17 per month for $500,000 of coverage. And Policy Genius has licensed agents who can help you find options that offer coverage in as little as a week. They're not incentivized to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. There are no added fees, and your personal info is private. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find it and buy it. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. And we're back, everybody, with story number 4. Game Awards viewership is up once again. This comes from Jeff Keighley on Twitter. This year, the Game Awards hit a new viewership milestone, 103 million live streams. Thank you for making this the most watched Game Awards in history. See you in 2023. On Twitter, the Game Awards delivered over 11.5 million video views of the live stream, with a 28% increase in conversation volume year over year, 33% increase in unique authors, and 31% increase in the Game Awards hashtag usage. The show trended #1 worldwide, including all top 5 worldwide trends.
Wow.
The Steam Deck giveaway was definitely a big hit. On Steam, over 9.5 million unique customers viewed the Game Awards live stream, with a peak audience of over 850,000 concurrent users.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
All of that's wild, especially when you bring in the context of Geoff before the show. I don't know if it was me and you on Games Daily talking about this. You might have been on your way already to the Game Awards, but Geoff put out this like big thread, kind of like a final State of the Union going into this year's show. And he was pretty much being like, hey, due to some of these reasons, we don't expect this show to get more views than last year. And, you know, kind of just setting the stage so you can come here and be like, boom, motherfuckers. And that's exactly what happened.
No, we knocked that shit out of the park.
But again, congrats to him, man. I think this is great. I am a huge supporter of the Game Awards and of the work that Geoff's done. And he's being rewarded handsomely. And I feel like this is moving in a direction where I would say that it is undeniable that the Game Awards has only gotten better year after year. And especially when you take into consideration the pandemic and everything and how everything had to shift and change, and this being the first real Game Awards we've had since 2019, I feel like this is a really good sign of things to come in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited to see where the Game Awards go from here. I think he mentioned that also next year will be the 10th Game Awards, which is really exciting. I want to see Geoff do something special for that. I would love either a video package or like some kind of thing to like really cement, hey, we've done this for a decade now. Like this is 10 years of this, and we're doing the damn thing, and we're only getting better. Also excited to see like what Geoff's other shows grow into being, right? Like I would love to see both opening night live at Gamescom and then also Summer Game Fest kickoff or like whatever he's calling it this year. I would like to see both those shows grow as well, right? And get better. Is Kevin, is what I'm looking at on the TV?
I'm working on other stuff.
Gotcha.
Wes.
But yeah, I would love to see that stuff grow and get better, right? And like I'm very excited. Like, I'm at the point where whenever we're approaching one of Geoff's shows, I'm excited to see what it is. Like I'm excited to see, you know, what does Summer Game Fest kickoff look like this year? What does Opening Night Live look like this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's personally, I think that 3 shows a year is too much. And I think that it's going to show in all 3 of the shows' ability to like really bring the heat and like have that energy all in one place. But the industry's changed where there isn't just E3 and that's it. It's like how wild is it that over the last 10 years, Geoff has turned December into a major announcement month. We expect major announcements at the end of the year every year, and that's single-handedly because of Geoff, right?
Yeah.
And now that we have Summer Game Fest kind of taking that E3 area and then Gamescom with Opening Night Live, like Opening Night Live to me is the one that I think needs the most work because Summer Game Fest I think has the most room to improve. I think it's going to improve dramatically next year, but I think like Opening Night Live is the one that needs to find its identity a bit more. But it serves a great audience in person somewhere that shows like this normally don't happen, and being able to have a different group of people in the same room I think is a really powerful thing for the gaming community. But I haven't been wowed by any of the Opening Night Lives yet.
Opening Night Live, I think, is the weakest of the 3 shows, and that might be just because it is like it's in collaboration with Gamescom. Maybe I think that is a weird time for big announcements, right? Because it's right before the fall, and
it's
I think
after game or
after E3
Game
Summer
Fest and before Game Awards.
Exactly, right? And so it's like what is left to announce for the fall at that time, especially when, you know, PlayStation usually does a PlayStation showcase in September. Xbox usually does a showcase like not that far long before, right? You know, what is left to show up at Opening Night Live. But I could see it growing though. I do like the idea of doing 3 shows a year. I think it is a lot. I do think that, you know, Game Awards I don't think suffers much from it. Like I feel like every time we get to Game Awards is still a banger show. I think it always has room for improvement, and there are things that Geoff could do to like, you know, improve it year to year. But I don't even think it's a content problem at this point, right? I think it is just figuring out timing, maybe shortening it up a little, and figuring out all the fine details of making the Game Awards the best that it can be. Open Night Live and even take it to Summer Game Fest, right? That show has only been going 2 years at this point. I think we just got the second one with this last one. And I'd say both of those have been pretty good. You know, the first one we got Elden Ring. I forget what the big announcement of this last one was. I guess it was
this last one wasn't that great. This was the one that we gave a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
But again, it's context of everything, of like where we are, where gaming is, what games have been out, what games have already been announced, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I do think that like we're still, Game Awards are a cemented thing that we understand because it's been going now for 9 years, coming on 10, right? Whereas Summer Game Fest, specifically the kickoff show, all of that is so new in this new battle for dominance of destroying E3.
Yes.
So I feel like there's going to be this like really awkward transition period that we're going to see them kind of go back and forth, and eventually it'll net out, I'm hoping, in a clean answer in the same way we're like, we know the Game Awards are happening. Like that is what it is. Whereas right now it's like, cool, there's E3, there's Summer Game Fest, there's IGN Summer of Gaming, there's GameSpot's Summer Dippity Doodah. Like everybody has some shit, and it's noise.
But I mean, I think right now the real battle of summer, really, of early summer, really is between Geoff Keighley and E3. And like, I for one, I like a good battle. Kevin, what is that? What was that?
I'm prepping stuff for the stream afterwards.
Gotcha.
And it wouldn't pause the audio, even though I hit mute.
Gotcha. I like a good battle, Tim. I like a good fight for dominance. And so whenever I see any of like the, you know, E3 announces what they're doing, and then immediately the same day later in the day, Geoff's like, oh, this is what we're doing. I think it's fun. I like good competition. I think that's going to make both of them have to actually be better and compete, right? None of them can rest on their laurels. And so even though I think, you know, in the grand scheme of Geoff's year-round plan, we could see things improve overall. I think we are getting there. I think year to year, we're going to see things get better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Story number 5. Henry Cavill's working on a Warhammer 40K series for Amazon. This comes from Boris Kitt at The Hollywood Reporter. The actor, who Wednesday officially hung up his Man of Steel cape after Warner Brothers announced it's going in a new Superman direction, thanks to DC Studios head James Gunn and Peter Safran, is attached to star in and executive produce a series adaptation of Warhammer 40K, the popular science fiction fantasy miniature wargame.
What part? What got you
There's
there?
just so many fucking words. Popular science fiction fantasy miniature war game. It is what it is. That
It
is
is what it
exactly
is.
what that is. But god damn Dolly. I was gonna say golly. It's fucking Friday, y'all. It's the last
Friday.
show
It's
of
the last
year.
Kind of Funny Games Daily of the year.
Amazon has secured rights to the game produced by Games Workshop after months of negotiations and fending off rival companies that also sought the rights. This is envisioned as a potential film and TV play. No writers or showrunners are attached. Vertigo Entertainment's Roy Lee and Natalie Viscuso teamed up with Cavill to secure the rights and deliver it to Amazon. It's great news, and we're absolutely thrilled. We're working with fantastic... I've never seen this word in my life, bless.
Where we at? I didn't follow along.
Here we go. It's great news. We're absolutely thrilled. We're working with a
Oh.
fantastic
Triumvirate. You never
triumvirate.
You never heard of a triumvirate?
I
before?
haven't. I have not. In hand.
I'm lying. I've never heard of a triumvirate either. I'm looking up to see how it's actually pronounced.
Thank you. And what does it mean?
Hold on. I gotta turn my volume up.
Okay, you
yeah,
nailed,
yeah,
you
I nailed
nailed
it.
it. Pronounce it. What is it though?
I don't know if it'll go through the gate. Let me turn the gate off.
Triumvirate.
Are they hearing that?
Triumvirate.
A triumvirate. Triumvirate is a group of three men holding power. In particular, the unofficial coalition of Julius Caesar, Pompey,
Okay.
and Crassus in 60 BC.
Okay, so they are referring to Henry Cavill, Vertigo, and Amazon as the triumvirate.
All right.
Cool. Henry's well-known love of Warhammer 40K and his passion as a world builder and storyteller will serve us all well in the coming years. Finally, Warhammer will make it to the screen as the fans have hoped and as they deserve. Exciting times, says the creative director of GAW. Warhammer is akin to Dungeons & Dragons, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to get into all that. So there we go. So
There you go.
very interesting. Couple things I want to shout out here.
Mhm.
I love that this is Henry Cavill being like, I want to do this. I love this and I want to make this happen. I think that's rad. I also think it's rad that with the era of streaming content and stuff, the rules are kind of out the window of like what counts as like premiere content, whether it's movies, TV shows, is it on TV, is it on streaming, XYZ. And like as Kevin infamously likes to point out, Disney fucked Pixar. There is still a lot of like things
Fucking
going
sad.
on with this, but
Sad, Tim.
to look at Henry Cavill, who is a bona fide like Hollywood movie superstar, to see him do this much TV, I think is really interesting, and I think a very positive sign for how important television is and how important series are, that it's not just movies or it doesn't matter. It's like we are at an age that TV is there's more prestige television than ever. That's not to say everything's perfect, but there are more higher quality shows than we've ever had before. And to see big name actors like Henry Cavill like lead those shows, like The Witcher being an example, I think is really cool.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, and this is one of those ones where this is like barely a video game news story because Warhammer is the what was it? The miniature war. Here we go. The popular science fiction fantasy miniature war game. Like it's the fact that this is adjacent enough to video games that like, and this is a big enough news story in terms of what is happening here, right? And Henry Cavill being involved, that it's like, yo, let's talk about this because this is fantastic, right? Like this is going to expose, like we talked about in terms of any adaptation, this is going to expose a whole new audience into what Warhammer is. I'm somebody who's been looking for an opportunity to get into any sort of Warhammer thing because whenever I see 40K pop up on screen, I'm like, that looks really cool. I want to know more. Henry Cavill is enough to get me in.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
so yeah, shout out. And also shout out to Henry Cavill for like getting roles, because like it's been a rough go between leaving The Witcher and then also losing on the Superman role. I think Warhammer is a really nice next step for him.
It is, Kev. On the Kind of Funny Games Daily doc, in this story I added a link that I'd like to pull up. I don't know the context of all this. I think it is just a very, very, very wild coincidence.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
But on December 14th, which is a couple days ago now, so 2 days ago, when they announced that Henry Cavill is no longer going to be Superman, Raul Coley, the homie, tweeted out, "Hey Henry, fuck it, let's make a Warhammer movie / limited series. Kind regards, Raul." Okay, but if this hits 40K likes, then that's it. It has to be made. It's the law. It got 175,000 likes.
Yep.
Good for you, Raul. That's fantastic. But then this was announced 2 days later.
Like literally a day later, actually. This was announced yesterday, this Warhammer thing.
Like, what?
I think that is the universe doing its damn thing. But also, y'all got to get Rahul Kohli involved.
Get
Well, that's the
him
thing,
in.
Like, maybe he is involved in, like, light teasers.
I don't think he would do that. Like, maybe, but like that sounds. I hope that that's the case. I hope more than anything, Raul is involved with this specifically because Raul fucking loves this shit. Like, this is his favorite thing, man. If you follow him on any social media, like, he's always painting the miniatures. Like, I think it's super rad that he is that invested in a hobby, and that if this opportunity turns out, again, I don't know where this is at officially, but I'm rooting for you. I hope this happens.
I think we will see Rahul in this Warhammer series, whether it's season 1 or season 2. If the offer comes later on, I think he will make an appearance. I think it has to happen.
Chad's saying he clarified in a follow-up tweet that he's not involved at all, but I hope that changes. I really, really hope.
I think it will. I think it will.
Yeah, God, that would be cool. Moving on. Oh God,
I can read this one. It's a long one.
Should we?
I mean, I can't. Here, I got you. Because I think it's entertaining.
I can read it.
You got it?
I got it.
All right,
Yeah.
Tim's got it.
I have a holiday story. Okay, this is a write-in from Gage, aka Luke Shot first. I have a holiday story that's very San Francisco I thought you all might enjoy. I was about 22 and living in the Sunset District with 6 other friends in this big house up near the Moraga Lookout. That year, most of my friends were out of the house for the holiday weekend, visiting family in various parts of the country. My friend Jordan and I were the only ones who stuck around. We were feeling a bit lonely on Christmas Eve and decided to go out and get drunk wherever we could find that was open around the city to cheer ourselves up. We looked up online what the vibe was and what places were staying open. Japantown ended up looking like it had the most options. So we hopped on Muni and headed down Geary to find a bar and get some noodles. We stopped at this spot in the mall and got noodle bowls and beers, and it was excellent. After a few rounds, I got up to use the bathroom. I went through a door that seemed like it would lead to a bathroom, but it led down this weird hallway instead. I heard loud music coming from a door at the end of the hallway. I decided to check it out. It turned out to lead to this speakeasy karaoke bar filled with people drinking and being very merry. I had this exact same this happened to me in the same exact spot.
No
way. Not the same lead-in story to get there, but in Japantown, trying to go to a bathroom, ended up in a karaoke bar.
That's awesome.
And then me and all my friends went in and just hung out all night singing. Were we all hanging out together? What? I was stoked. I ran back to Jordan and told him about it. We paid our bills and made our way into the speakeasy. We got a seat at the bar. We were the only white people there. Everyone else was Japanese. We looked through the book of songs and found that almost all the songs were Japanese songs, including anime and video game tunes. We were hyped. We decided we'd sing the opening theme from Pokemon, one of the greatest theme songs of all time, and we killed it.
Was this you that wrote this?
Did I write this? Was this me? We had the whole room singing with us, and afterward, everyone cheered. It was a blast. After we sang, we began talking to these 2 girls at the bar. We flirted and hit it off. We all ended up getting a table, and before you know it, the 2 of them were headed back to our place with us in a cab. Plus, what did you put in? Why is this on Games Daily? Why is this part of the Warhammer story?
It loops back to Warhammer, trust me.
We had a few more beers all together back at the house, and then the girl I had been vibing with more led me out of the living room and towards my room. We started to get hot and heavy. Plus, what the fuck?
It'll come back around to Warhammer, trust me.
We started getting hot and heavy, and before you know it, we were about to do the dang thing. Right before I went down, she stopped me holding up her hand and said, "One day we will sleep together, and it will be amazing. But that day is so far away. If I want to know what came to mom and grop shops, where would I look?"
Well, you would look toward the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday. I had to include it. I had to make you read it. I had to make you read it. I was like, we're not blowing past this one because it is such an entertaining story. And also, Luke, Gage, aka Luke Shot First, wrote in and said, "Oh, by the way, all that is true. Like that is a very true story."
Yeah, that sounds like a true story. And real talk, like I did have that same thing happen where I know exactly where he's talking about. I forgot about the place. It's been probably 15 years since I've been there.
Wow.
We should go.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Hell yeah.
I don't know about the last part though, but I'm down. I'm down for the rest of it.
God, it's been a while since we've had one of those swerve ones. I didn't even see it coming. I need to be honest with you.
I didn't know. I was like, I don't know if he's read ahead. And then at a certain point, I was like, okay,
he's not. See that coming. I did not see it.
As soon as you started, I was like, oh, I know where this is going. And then it just kept going.
It kept going.
And it kept going. And
when
eventually I was like, it can't be that. This is too long.
what I love about it is I'm reading it and like there's some spicy things being said, and I'm like, I'm just trusting that Bless read this first because I'm just reading at this point. Anyway, that was fantastic, man. You'd go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform. Oh, you already fucking said it. Out today, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard on Switch. How?
I don't know.
Like that can't be right. I swear to God that this game has come out on the Switch 10 times already.
I can look. Actually, I think you're right. I feel like I remember doing this on Switch.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
So that's really weird. The Fantastic Kitty Roo on PC. SCP Keter. Early access on PC. Iron Lung on Switch. Panda Punch on PC and Switch. Reki on Xbox One and Series X. Sucker for Love First Date on Switch. And 4 new games have been added to the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis library on Nintendo Switch Online. Golden Axe 2, Virtual Fighter 2, Alien Storm, and Columns.
Yeah, I believe this Resident Evil 7 thing seems accurate. It seems accurate. I think it's just the fact that many other Resident Evil games will also come to Switch via cloud. Because you've gotten Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3. All via cloud gaming.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We got a fun little question here. Oh, God, there's a lot of questions I want to get to, but we're not going to be able to do them all. I want to do this first one, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah. The first one. The second one isn't even like a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with the first one. Marco Hutchens writes in and says, hey, guys, I wrote this question in previously, and you guys seem to enjoy it. What do you think will be the favorite game of the year in 2023 for every member of Kinda Funny? Here's my predictions. Tim will be an unannounced Mario game or Final Fantasy 16. Greg will be Spider-Man 2. Bless will be The Last of Us Factions or Starfield. Andy will be Hollow Knight Silksong. Mike, Redfall. Joey, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Cool Greg, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Barrett, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Kevin, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Nick, Hogwarts Legacy. Roger, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I chose a different game for every person just to highlight how many awesome games are expected to come out next year, but we all know everyone's actually going to pick Zelda, so feel free to choose the same game for multiple people.
Oh.
It's pretty interesting.
I like this.
I don't know. I don't.
Do you feel like yours is accurate?
I don't think Zelda's my answer.
Really? You don't think Zelda is your answer?
I can't wait for Zelda, but I am at a place where this sounds like such a stupid, hypocritical thing to say, but I simultaneously
it's to celebrate what your game of the year is going to be.
I simultaneously expect Tears of the Kingdom to be the greatest.
He's doing
game.
it on purpose, by the way?
Yeah.
He's doing it on purpose.
Banana, motherfuckers!
I expect it to be the best game ever made because it has to be. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't expect it to be Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild is Breath of the Wild. But I didn't expect Ragnarok to be God of War because God of War was God of War and Ragnarok was God of War. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm still going to say Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for you.
You think?
I think so.
We'll see. I mean, again, Pokemon just proved me the fuck wrong. So we'll see. And I'm not even be wrong about this. It's a very, very, very lofty goal for Tears of the Kingdom to be as special and good as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I think that unlike God of War, from God of War 2018 to Ragnarok, a PS5 happened. And I played on PS5. It's not PS5 exclusive, but the tech worked, and it was only better than the last version that I played in 2018 on my PS4 Pro. I'm probably going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom on the same goddamn Switch that I played Breath of the Wild.
Probably, yeah.
So I don't know about that. But yeah, if there's a new Mario game, that's probably a likely contender for me. Final Fantasy 16, I'm a little less sure of. I'm hopeful for, but I don't know that that's going to be like the one for me.
What about Spider-Man 7 Rebirth?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's about to be a really dope year for me. So I don't know that I have one that I'm like, that's going to be the favorite for Game of the Year. It's obviously too early to tell. But if we do get a new 2D Mario, I expect to be blown away by a 2D Mario.
Wow.
Because we haven't had one in so long. And on top of that, we haven't had one with a new art style in even longer. And Nintendo just hasn't made a 2D Mario while everyone else has been making 2D games. 2D platforms have been popping off. There's been so many great ones on the indie side, on the higher scale side of even things like Ukulele, right? Which I wouldn't call that indie necessarily. It has a kind of different vibe to it. So I think Nintendo, if and when they do a new 2D Mario, they know that they need to bring the fucking stuff.
Wow.
Be like, no, we are the 2D masters.
All right. I'm still. I'll do for me, right? Because in the question, Marco mentions he thinks for me it's going to be Last of Us Factions or Starfield, which, you know, I respect how much you know me in the idea that I talk about factions all the time, and also I'm very much a Bethesda RPG person. I cannot wait for Starfield, but I think it's going to be a tall order for anything to beat out Tears of the Kingdom for me, right? And I think the Tears of the Kingdom its biggest opposition is itself. I agree with everything you say, right, in terms of Breath of the Wild is Breath of the Wild, right? And like there's so many things that make that game special, and one of those things for me was the fact that I was playing that game on a brand new Nintendo hardware. That was fantastic, right? We're coming off of the Wii U. I'm picking up my Switch for the first time. The Switch works as advertised. It's an incredible experience. And then also, I have this Zelda game that is doing everything I love when it comes to open world games. And it works and it has a physics system that I love and also has the puzzles that I love, right, in terms of the shrines. Breath of the Wild did so much for me, and honestly, like if you give me more Breath of the Wild, that'll probably still do a lot for me. But it is going to be the thing of, does it feel as special as when I picked up that first game? I think that will be the difficulty with it. But yeah, I think if it's not Breath of the Wild or if it's not Tears of the Kingdom, I could see it being Last of Us Factions. If Last of Us Factions hits, which I think could be a tall order. It is not easy to make a fantastic multiplayer game, but I love the Last of Us world. Last of Us 1 it is now like one of my favorite games ever. And I love Last of Us Factions as well. So yeah, like hopefully that hits. And then Starfield, if Starfield is a 9 out of 10 game, 10 out of 10 game, then that'll be a top 2 game of the year for me. I like easily, right? Like that is the game that I need to come through and hit and like be my everything. It's one of my most anticipated games of the year, right? It's probably my top 3. And so yeah, those are my picks for me. But then going through the list, Marco says Greg, Spider-Man 2. Do you agree?
I mean, maybe, right? Like, again, it's weird where we're talking about some of these sequels where the expectations are simultaneously so high and expected. We just expect them to be great because they've proven that they're great. So yeah, it's hard to be like, it's going to be the favorite game of the year for some of these things that are a bit more known quantity. What I'm more interested in is like Mike with Redfall. Snowbike Mike, you're over there. Just from over. You actually, come on, get over here. Get over here. So what is your favorite to be your favorite game next year?
Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I actually booted up Miles Morales this week, and just swinging around the neighborhoods is just so much fun. So we'll go Spider-Man, Starfield, which, Blessing, you said so well. I expect that to be a game of the generation. I have high hopes and expectations for Bethesda, and I think they need to nail this. That will probably be my most critical game out of the list, where it's like, oh, I'm going to be real hard on you, And then Redfall, actually, surprisingly enough, for that viewer writing, that is very low on my list. I actually have very low expectations for that. I think that will be a weekend one-and-done game and never played again for me. I know the pedigree of Arcane. I think we're all expecting something really fun on the gameplay side of things. But when I look at that and we look at the games before that, right, then I know everybody's going to get mad, or you can't compare it to Back 4 Blood or Left 4 Dead, but it's like those kind of style of games, those are the, hey, one weekend warrior session with my homies, and then we're done. We never talk about it. We never play it. And like that style, the cartoony look of it all, like just doesn't vibe with me. So Redfall, surprisingly, very low on my list compared to everything else. Those are my games.
I love it. Spider-Man 2 for Mike.
There it is.
That's a fun, unexpected thing. Yeah, then going through, I feel like Joey, Disney Dreamlight Valley, absolutely.
That makes sense.
She's loving that game. And hearing her talk about it and like the updates that they're doing, like she's legitimately like enthralled by it. So that's pretty damn awesome. Cool Greg, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, that's an interesting pull.
I love that pull.
I can't wait for Cool Greg and Hogwarts Legacy. I feel like there is the potential for him, and my brother doesn't play games like that, like period. Like he doesn't play modern games, I could see him just getting sucked into this world.
Yeah, he might platinum Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, Andy Hollow Knight Silk Song. I could see that, or I could see it being the surprise of Armored Core.
I mean, the thing about Andy is there's no predicting him at this point when it comes to being a gamer. He is a gamer through and through. Everybody willing to put himself out there, willing to try new things, willing to convert from the controller to the mouse and keyboard. You know what I mean? He'll do it all. So. Never put Andy in a box.
Never put Andy in a box. And then, Barrett Star Wars, Jedi Survivor. Honestly, I could see it. Of course, Barrett loves some Star Wars. And Jedi Survivor looks like it's about to be fantastic. Was Jedi Fallen Order his game of the year 2019? Do you remember?
I'm
going to assume
was Persona 2019?
No. So it was probably Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, probably.
Kevin,
Barrett's not here. If he was here, he'd be fucking busted.
Yeah, he would bust through the door. Kevin, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I can see that. That can make sense. I think either that or Hogwarts Legacy. I think I can see. I think Kevin might be excited for that one.
Yeah, definitely. No, there's the other one though. Breath of the Wild probably has the highest
Oh,
chance.
yeah.
I mean, I could not like. I literally had to stop playing that game because it was affecting my work performance.
Yeah.
120 hours in like a week and a half or like 2 weeks. It was
That's
insane.
That's my thing too. Is I was that way with Breath of the Wild, where I put in like 90 hours, 100 hours within the span of like only like a month, maybe a few weeks.
Mhm.
Yeah, ridiculous hours about to be put into that game. And then yeah, the Nick Hogwarts and then Roger Zelda. I don't know Nick's taste that much. I'll assume whatever the next Call of Duty is. And then Roger is a wild card as well. Roger
Yeah.
could be anything.
Yeah. For sure.
There you go.
Kebabs writes in with the final statement of the year. I just want to give a big thank you and congratulations to Kind of Funny. This has been an incredible year for you guys with a shiny new studio, plenty of laughs and good times already. You're a staple of my daily routine, and I'm proud to be a Kind of Funny best friend more than ever. Also, shout out to my homies in the YouTube chat, aka the KF Breakfast Club. Thanks and keep being awesome, Kebabs. Thank you, Kebabs. And thank everybody hanging out in the Breakfast Club. I love that.
great.
But also just everybody that supports us any which way possible, including by going to kindoffunny.com/you'rewrong to correct things that we get wrong as we get them wrong.
Let me tell you, Tim.
mhm.
Yesterday you told me that I should watch Mythic Quest.
Yeah.
And I picked it back up. I watched episode 2 yesterday. Right after I watched Sonic Prime, actually. And that in that episode, the character played by Danny Putty, he he's the financial lead on whatever game they're making, right? And like one of his coworkers pisses him off, and so he's like the coworker's basically like, "We don't need you," whatever. And so he leaves, and then chaos erupts, right? And it was his way of like, in a very petty way, trying to show the world that like, "Hey man, you fuck with me, I fuck with you." And let me tell you, Kevin Coelho is Danny Putty.
Oh my God.
That's Kevin Coelho.
I can see
That's
it.
Kevin Coelho right there.
Yeah, and with the way the character goes, I love that, and it fits pretty well. Mythic Quest is awesome. You guys should check it out on Apple TV Plus. It's season 3 is going now. Last night's episode, Bless, might be the series best.
Really?
Oh my God, they did a
Alright.
good job. They did a fantastic flashback episode. But anyways, you're wrong. There's a lot of people saying some spoiler stuff that I don't want to get into for some Pokemon things, but I appreciate you all. Otherwise, next week we're off. And the week after that, we're off. And then we'll return, like I said, Tuesday, January 3rd with way more kind of funny goodness. All the shows will be gone the next 2 weeks. But I know Greg's doing a bunch of, he's planning to do the Greg ways throughout the break. So stay tuned for that. A lot of fun announcements there and just things, life updates and whatever it is. But Bless, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you this year. Been amazing to be actually with you in a studio again.
Yeah.
You've really come into your own over the years. I see clips of us in the old studio, and I'm just blown away by how just like
I grew hair.
you grew hair, but like it's more than that too. You grew into where you belong, which is right here next to me on this show.
Hell yeah. Tim, I appreciate I love doing the show with you, of course. Like it's funny seeing our weeks change and then also like us adapt to it and also it become a whole different vibe that I
Yeah.
think has even gotten better because it was us on Mondays for the first half of the year and then we transitioned to now being the end of the week. And honestly, like you can put us on any day of the week. We're gonna rock that shit.
We bring that energy.
We're gonna bring
baby.
that energy.
I love it. And with that, it's been our pleasure to serve you.